Tonight on CTV News, a narrow escape from a West End house fire. How a knock on the door may have saved 3 lives.
The back half of it was just total flames.
Plus, flying the coop.
This is a very unique type of incident.
A parrot prank flies to the top of social media.
This is the CTV News at 5 with Sean Leslie.
A fire has destroyed a house in the Hampton Village neighborhood, but 3 people who were inside are safe, thanks to a knock on the door. These flames could be seen for blocks, according to the Saskatoon Fire Department. Firefighters used an exterior attack because there was already an extensive amount of damage by the time they got there. No one was injured thanks to 2 girls who were walking by at the time. They noticed the fire and pounded on the door, alerting the 3 people inside. Damage has been estimated at $450,000. Several neighbors actually witnessed the fire, and here's how they describe it.
The whole house was just engulfed. The back half of it was just total flames. Must have been at least 10, 15 high feet in the air. It was quite something to see.
As soon as I opened the door, I could hear the crackles of the fire, and I could actually smell smoke. And then when I looked through the left, my neighbor's house was on fire.
As for the cause of this fire, the Saskatoon Fire Department has determined it was because of the improper disposal of smoking materials. Yet another candidate is throwing their hat in the ring to become the next leader of the Saskatchewan Party. Alana Cook is the deputy minister and the premier and is the first woman to hold the job. Cook made her official announcement to run for leader this morning at a farm south of Regina. She has an extensive background in agriculture, something she says, along with her history in the civil service, makes her a good candidate. Also making it official over the lunch hour today, Ken Cheveldayoff has joined the leadership race. Cheveldayoff says he has the experience and the drive to take the province forward. And there are now 5 candidates for leader of the Sask Party. Also running are Gord Wyant, Jeremy Harrison, and Tina Beaudry-Meller. To the U.S. now, where officials expect as many as 450,000 people will register for disaster assistance after tropical storm Harvey battered Texas over the weekend. The storm has brought utter devastation to parts of Texas, drenching Houston and chasing thousands from their homes.
We got you, don't worry. Don't worry, we got you. We got you, don't worry. It is a little cold, but we got you, don't worry.
Rescuers are doing their best to keep up with calls for help from trapped residents. The National Weather Service called the event unprecedented and beyond anything experienced. Water in Houston continues to rise and more rain is on the way. More on the storm coming up a little later on. And here's a sidebar to that big storm. A storm chaser used the power of social media to reunite a lost dog with his owners. Aaron J. Jack says he was stopped at a gas station when the scared pup jumped in his car. His owners were nowhere in sight, so J. Jack nicknamed the dog Harvey and sent out a distress call on Twitter, asking users to help him find the family's dog. The post went viral, and the dog, whose real name is Cash, was reunited with the family. Back to Saskatchewan now. A new Main Street Post-Media poll suggests former Riders quarterback Darian Durant is still the most popular person in the province. The poll surveyed 1,000 people in the province between August 16th and 22nd and asked what they thought of 22 individuals. Durant gets a plus 51 approval rate, while corner gas star Brent Butt gets a plus 48. Current Rider quarterback Kevin Glenn is third. MP Ralph Goodale with a net rating of plus 28 is the most popular politician. Rounding out the top 5 is a member of the Wall family, but not the outgoing premier. It's his son, country singer Colton. Brad Wall was 16th on a list with a -2 net score. The poll has a margin of error of plus or minus 3.1%, 19 times out of 20. Well, it was quite the odd sight atop the new traffic bridge this weekend. This photo from Saturday shows a bright blue parrot statue on top of the bridge, which is currently under construction. The parrot has since been removed, and if it looks familiar, that's probably because you've seen one just like it before at Earl's Restaurant on 2nd Avenue. Earl Saskatoon confirmed to CTV News that one of its 3 parrot statues has been stolen. It's since been recovered and will be reinstalled. Saskatoon police tell us they have received no complaints or tips relating to this incident. More coming up just after 5:30 on this with CTV's Laura Woodward. When it comes to Moose Jaw's famous Snowbirds, it's always eyes to the skies, but the attention was on the runway this weekend as one of the planes caught fire and the pilots scrambled to get out of the cockpit. Genevieve Beauchemin has more on what happened and the new safety concerns it has raised.
The Snowbirds had flown in flawless formation Saturday, but on the runway, this. A fire broke out in the nose gear of Snowbird 5. Spectators at the air show were watching closely.
The fire truck came up and dosed it down with the foam, and pretty well that was it.
The team's safety pilot says the crew got out quickly and safely.
Our flight safety team is starting the investigation to figure out what caused the fire.
This during a turbulent season for the Snowbirds. In May, the aerial acrobats made a pass over Parliament Hill alongside the French Air Force. But that day, some of the jets flew out of formation. For the team leader, it was a worrisome mid-flight deviation.
He's alarmed right now, and he wants to stop, go back to basics practice.
The Snowbirds scrapped 6 shows, citing bad weather for disrupting their practice schedule. Since 1971, the Canadian Forces 431 Air Demonstration Squadron, that's the official name, has performed incredible aerial feats and thrilled audiences. But flying within meters of one another at speeds of up to 600 kilometers an hour has led to accidents. 8 pilots have been killed over the years, several others injured. Concern has also grown lately over the age of the aircraft. The Canadian-built Tudors are now more than half a century old and were once set to be retired in 2010. The government has said the planes are still in good shape, and the safety officer says the team relies on top-notch upkeep.
These airplanes are magnificently maintained. Our technicians are some of the best in the world, and I have 100% faith to fly them safely.
And avid jet watchers say they've witnessed malfunctions on newer planes too.
Well, that could pretty well happen to any jet anytime.
A spare plane took Snowbird number 5's place in the formation today, and the show went off without incident. Genevieve Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
All right, taking a look through the live lens of Skycam, and you can certainly see a sunny day. We've had ourselves a very warm day, certainly warmer than average for this time in late August. Let's take a look and see what we've got going on. Just wanted to point out about this nasty weather down in the Gulf Coast, down around Harris County. That's where Houston is. I've talked to friends who live in parts of Houston. They have evacuated. This storm has continued to move out into the Gulf. It's going to pick up more moisture. That is something that the Houston area does not want. The city of Dallas has already turned their convention center into a relief area. So a lot of effort going into trying to help people in Texas right now. So certainly our thoughts are with them. We have a little bit of a storm that slid through parts of northern Saskatchewan. A thunderstorm earlier today in Meadow Lake and area, but it didn't really add up to much. In the north, that's where we expect most of the active weather to be. The rest of us, relatively light winds, lots of clear skies, sunny skies, and warm temperatures staying in place. So let's take a look at what we've got going on with our almanac for today. We hit 30 degrees, which is 7 degrees above the seasonal average. The record temperature on this date, 34 degrees in 1981. The record cold, -1 in 1976. The sun came up at 6:12. It's going to go down at 8:04. Here we go with our hot and cold spot. The hot spot was the Queen City at 35 degrees, 35.1 to be exact, 5 degrees, the cold spot in Stony Rapids. Here we are with our current conditions. I'll step out of the way and show you that we're anticipating 29 degrees, not anticipating, it's 29 degrees right now in Saskatoon, 28 in Prince Albert, and 27 in the Battlefords. And here is the long-range forecast, or at least the 5-day forecast at 5. We're looking at temperatures getting up to 31 degrees on Wednesday, staying sunny, and temperatures staying above seasonal right up until Saturday. For Prince Albert, rather the Battlefords, we're looking at 29 degrees for a daytime high on Tuesday. Sunshine on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and temperatures up to 32 by the time we get to Wednesday. Let's take a quick look at the 5-day forecast for Prince Albert. 26 degrees tomorrow with mainly sunny skies. Sunshine Wednesday through Saturday, and temperatures getting as warm as 30 and as cool, if we can call it that, it's still above seasonal, 24 degrees on Friday and Saturday. And another look through Skycam. As you can certainly see, traffic has not really changed all that much. It looks pretty typical for this time of day. And this is the situation on the University Bridge. Again, typical traffic for this time of day. Not a lot of tie-ups.